it's a great opportunity for the Aztecs. This team is playing solid football right now. Big road win against Arizona State. Dominated that game. Had it not been for some penalties, I think they had like 20 offside penalties. As Rocky Long said, I think our defense was ready to play, but a little over-anxious at times. Could have been a total domination of the Sun Devils. Now, big dog at home, 9.5-point dog against the Stanford team, one of the elite programs in the country. Are the Aztecs up to the task? Well, the guy that knows this program all too well, the senior cornerback Kameron Kelly, is joining the Cannons right now. Cameron, how are you today?
I'm great. How are y'all?
We are doing well. Well, Cameron, congrats on the big win down there in Tempe. I know before we even get to the defense and some of the challenges ahead against Stanford, you're sitting there with your fellow senior, Rashad Penny, just in awe of this guy. What were your thoughts of the kind of game he had against Arizona State?
Man, Penny had an unbelievable game. I knew he had it in him. I knew he's had it in him since his freshman year, and then for him to just be able to do it was just great to see. In pregame, he wasn't really talking much. Like, he wasn't, the same Rashad that he usually hyped up, but he was just kind of in the zone, and I could tell that he was going to do something special, and I didn't know it was going to be to that magnitude, though.
Cameron, you were a guy. You speak of being there as a freshman for Rashad Penny. You're a guy who cracked the starting lineup as a freshman. And
sure.
Going back to that, I mean, how tough was it for you to grasp Rocky Long's 3-3-5? And to that point, how comfortable are you in this defense now?
Man, at first it was really like learning rocket science. Like, I got recruited here as an athlete, so I started playing offense. I was playing receiver at first when I first got here. And then a week into the season, we played Oregon State the second game of the season. North Carolina the second game of the season. And Coach D comes up to me with this full defensive playbook, and he's like, look, we had a safety quit. If Trey goes down, I need you to be the 2. Here's the playbook. Like, learn it. And you got a week. And I'm just, like, sitting there, eyes wide open, just like, dang, I got to do what I got to do or I'm going to get sent home. I got to try and get on the field somehow. Started learning it, and now I'm more comfortable in this defense than I was in my offense in high school. And my offense in high school was real simple. So that's just like, I don't know. I feel like I know basically what everybody does, and it allows me to be able to mess with the other teams because I can get in the spots that I'm not really going to be in when the ball is actually snapped, before the snap. So.
Cameron, when you first came to San Diego State, they weren't quite sure what to do with you. Athlete. They have, one of those guys that, you played a variety of positions in high school, quarterback. You did pretty much a little bit of everything. The challenges of playing corner, there's no more challenging position in football because everyone else is going forward and you're going backwards.
Yeah.
Now that, this is your third full year as a starter, you've been really starting since much of your freshman year. How do you feel about the challenge of playing cornerback week in and week out?
I feel like it's a great time. It's something that you got to be willing to accept. You got to be willing to accept the fact that sometimes you're going to get beat, and you got to have a real short memory. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. If you get an interception or something, you got to go out there like you have none and hungry for another one. And then if you give up a touchdown or give up a big pass, you got to completely forget about it like it never happened. I feel like that's the most challenging thing. Because a lot of guys, like they say, when they say the game is 30% physical and 70% mental, that's really the truth because your mind kind of controls whatever your body will do. So if you can tell your mind that, okay, even though I gave up this last play or even though I did this last play, that I need to focus in on this play, then you'll be real good.
The pride of Murphy, Texas, Aztec senior cornerback Kameron Kelly with us here on Xtra 1360, Fox Sports San Diego. Cameron, you have the size to play at the next level. Right now you're at 6'2", 200 pounds. You could probably pack on some more weight if, in fact, you do make it into the NFL. You were laying the wood Saturday. I've seen more than one highlight of you just blowing people up. Walking onto that field on Saturday, in years past when the Aztecs would take on a Pac-12 team, it was like, well, hopefully we can just stay close with them. But, man, you could just sense you guys were it seemed like the mindset was we belong here and we're going to win here. Yeah,
that's been our mindset since, January. We've been telling each other that we have the potential to be one of the best teams in the country, one of the elite programs. And, potential is nothing without hard work. So we worked our butts off for 8 months straight. And then when the opportunity presented itself, in the locker room, I just told all the guys that, look, we got to believe in ourselves. Nobody else believes in us, but there's 150 guys in this locker room right now that do. And as long as we believe in us, then, nobody else can control the game except for us. So we went out there, we try not to even think about it as like, this is a big game. This is a Pac-12 team. We think of it as another game. When we win, we're 2-0. When we win the next game, we'll be 3-0. So that's the way we got to look at it.
Well, speaking of 3-0, Cameron, obviously a great win down in Tempe, but here come the Stanford Cardinal. This is a big-time program. They've been an elite team for several years now, going back to the Jim Harbaugh days. David Shaw has continued that trend. I know they're coming off a tough loss against a loaded USC team, but the idea of having them here in San Diego, Cameron, you're a senior. I mean, I understand about being hyped up for a game, but is there a danger of being overhyped for a game? How do you sort of keep the emotions under control, knowing what a victory Saturday could do for this program?
I just try to let all the guys know that, like I said, it's going to be a big game, and I let them know, just more of it being a big game, just have fun with it. Football at the end of the day is a game. It's a sport, and so if we get out there and I feel like we have fun, it's easy for the pressure not to creep up on you. But if you get out there and you start overthinking things instead of just thinking about your assignment and what you have to do instead of who that is in the other jersey, and what their name is, then that's when you kind of start creeping yourself into that overhype and, setting yourself up for a loss. But if you kind of keep it level-headed, just tell everybody, look, it's a big week, but it's just another week. It's another game, and we got to go as hard as we did during camp, every single snap, and just making sure everybody's focused. That's the biggest thing. Because sometimes if people start getting too overhyped, you lose focus. You start trying to do too many things and not doing your job. So just as long as everybody, all 11 guys, do their job all night, I feel like it'll be a good battle.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. You got to choose one. A good interception or blowing somebody up. You can only choose one.
At this point, I need a good interception because I already got blowing somebody up. So I'm trying to do it all. I need a good interception with a good return on top of it.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking pick six. Pick six yes, right sir. Now. Maybe multiple against Stanford. All right, final thing from me, Cameron. When you've been on this program now for 4 years playing in this program, does this team? I know we're just 2 games into the season, but from what you've seen of this team, does this team have a chance to even exceed what you guys done over the last couple of years?
Most definitely. I love this team more than anything in this world. Of course, not more than my mom or nothing like that, but I love this. I love this team to the depth of me. I'll die for all of these dudes, and I feel like that's the mentality of everybody. Everybody just wants to go out and do literally every single thing they can, not for themselves and not just for the glory, but for the person next to them, because we all genuinely care about each other. And I feel like once you have that, it's really dangerous for a lot of other teams, because I feel like if I'm in the back alley, I'd rather take somebody who I know cares about me, cares about the fact that if I'm hurt or if I'm going to get beat up or something like that, than just taking somebody who knows how to fight. You know what I mean? So I feel like the guys on our team, we might have lost a lot of big name dudes. Last year it was kind of like Pumphrey, KZ, and the rest of them. But now I really feel like we're the San Diego Aztecs, and we're trying to bring life back to the city.
Well, I know we've been talking about it since the Chargers left town. Now what, right? Well, let me tell you what. This Saturday at the Q, formerly known as, you're going to have a big-time football game. 2 of the best programs in the country, Stanford and San Diego State. We need a packed house out there to support your Aztecs, because this game, a victory on Saturday, takes San Diego State football to a level they've never seen before. Cameron Kelly's going to be a big part of it on Saturday. Cameron, man, we wish you all the best. Big game, man. We'll be listening. We'll be watching, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Cameron.
There he is, Cameron Kelly, one of the leaders on this defense, and a physical corner. You're going to need that, because Stanford, they don't throw the ball a ton. They're going to try to run the ball, which means Cameron Kelly is going to have to support on that run as well.
Get to YouTube and just YouTube some of his hits from Arizona State. I mean, just blew people up.